It's really hard to find out. So again, because I love chemistry, I was like, okay, so when the water goes through the electrolysis process, and the pH is kind of irrelevant in that sense because the pH is a reference of the potential of hydrogen. Is it acidic because it has lots of hydrogen ions, or is it neutral, like a balance of hydrogen and hydroxide molecules, or is it basic, also known as alkaline, where it has the absence of hydrogen ions by themselves, and instead it has hydroxide molecules or carbonates or bicarbonates, and that's what makes the color change from like green to purple or green to yellow for acidic. And so the byproduct of making molecular hydrogen, this redox molecule, technically not an antioxidant, but it acts like one, is that the other things that it produces are these hydroxides. And I was trying to figure out, so this hydroxides being produced, what do they do? Are they able to kind of like donate their electrons and quench other stuff? Or do they just combine with, some of the minerals and make mineral hydroxides, kind of like ionic minerals, which can be quite absorbable? So that's those two areas is what I'd love to do a bit more research on. Is are ionic minerals being created? Like, are the minerals becoming more bioavailable? And what are these hydroxides doing? Are they just, combining with the minerals and playing such a little small effect? So they're two things that 5 years ago I was learning about, but struggling to find, credible sources to learn more about them. So I'd love to delve more into. But yeah, the pH, I'm not sure if you're going to ask later on, but the pH issue is one that comes up frequently that gets misinterpreted.
Awesome. And as a practitioner, and obviously you've recommended the product to patients, you've given them water trials. Some of your patients have bought machines, which has been fantastic. So I know we're not here to make therapeutic claims, and we have to be very careful with compliance about therapeutic claims. But what would be some of the health benefits without making a therapeutic claim that you may have read about or even witnessed and experienced with your patients and the people you've recommended it to?
So what the easiest way to answer that question is not to say it from my words, but to quote a publication that talks about the benefits of it. That way, it's not me making the claim, and we're talking about electrolyzed reduced water in general. So Loma Linda University reported that hydrogen has the potential to help with the top 8 of the 10 disease-causing fatalities as listed by the CDC. And so, if it can help with the top 8 of the 10 diseases that we're facing, and some of those include things like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, inflammatory bowel disease, um, uh, tumorigenesis, increased angiogenesis, kidney function, diabetes, liver function, heart disease. They're the areas of research within that 170 human and animal disease models that they're referring it can be used for. And so that's out there. That's, in the medical literature. It then does depend on the level of molecular hydrogen the machine can actually produce, which we'll get into later about how to optimize that so you're getting the full usage of your machine. But personally, I was looking at, okay, so if from a naturopathic perspective, the microbiome and the gut inflammation, they're really the center of all diseases from a naturopathic perspective. You can trace majority of diseases back to like microbiome and gut inflammation in general, which can come from free radicals, oxidative stress, traumas, and things like that. And so when you start to see this molecular hydrogen being able to upregulate some of our own antioxidant systems, like our catalase, glutathione, our superoxidase, this is able to combat some of those inflammatory conditions that I would commonly see with my patients. And I was like, wow, like this, will make up for on a daily basis you waking up being inflamed because of your condition and having to take a whole bunch of anti-inflammatories. What else are you doing to start the day? Are you starting day eating the wrong foods and drinking the wrong water? Well, if we get your diet on track, what are we going to do about your water? So then I was like, okay, we need to make sure that your water, since 70% of you is made up of water, is the best possible water as it can be, because you are really what you're drinking because all of your organs and systems are living in this extracellular matrix, this fluid. And how well or how much stress our body is under in terms of like buffering acidity, then if you can make sure you're taking the stress off our body by providing a substance that's assisting in that process, the body doesn't have to do all of it on its own. And that allows the body to focus on maintaining health and dealing with other issues rather than trying to compensate and deal with so many things at once. The first thing you can do is you're at the environment of your body. You give it really good quality water. So I think that's really the central component to like most people's health. And the amazing thing is, there's like a lot of research on how well molecular hydrogen is now helping the gut microbiome and reducing inflammation. So you've got like creating a really good environment for the body. You're not adding in additional stress. You're helping the gut, you're helping inflammation, and they're the three cornerstones of everyone's health. So I think it's really a no-brainer for everyone to, use this water from a health perspective.
Absolutely, that's awesome. And